on YouTube. This is Chocolatetorpedo once again with part 2 of my DVD collection video. I'll go ahead and jump right into this. See, we got 40-Year-Old Virgin. It's the Double Your Pleasure edition, just a standard special edition double discer. Everybody knows about that movie, so I don't need to go into any details. And down here on the next rack, we got Fresh. This movie right here is slept on, I think. Very underrated, very good, very powerful film. It's about this kid. He runs all these errands for these drug runners in his neighborhood, and he actually ends up, well, I don't want to give it away, but yeah, this is a very powerful film. It's kind of the whole film is kind of a metaphor for chess, because the kid plays chess with his dad, played by Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, and there's a very powerful scene on the basketball court in this movie. I don't want to give it away or anything, but it's a very powerful scene. And this movie is Fresh, the title. Next up we got Ghost World. Good movie, very weird. And then we got The Godfather Part 1 and 2. I wasn't really a fan of 3. It's not that 3 was a bad movie really, it's just that the first 2 movies pretty much set the bar so high, it just didn't hold up. And as far as Godfather Part 2, I do agree that it is the greatest sequel ever made. There's not really anything you could say that hasn't already been said about it. And next up we got Goonies. Everyone knows about that. The Graduate, Dustin Hoffman. And then we have Peter Jackson's Heavenly Creatures. Highly recommend this one. This is considered one of his better films, I guess. I think it was based on a true story about these 2 girls. They end up becoming lesbian lovers, and their parents obviously don't approve of it. And the one girl's mom, the one on the right, I forget what her name is in the movie, she's really having a hard time with her mom, and I don't really want to give any of it away, but it's pretty shocking towards the end. And this is Heavenly Creatures once again, Peter Jackson. Kind of a different movie for him to be doing compared to when you compare it to things like, you know, Dead Alive and Lord of the Rings and all of that. Next up we got Hot Rod, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's the 1970s version. Good. I liked it better than the original, the 1950s or 60s version, but I thought this was a superior version of the movie. That's just my opinion. And then we have Knocked Up, and the next one is La Dolce Vita, or La Dolce Vita. Federico Fellini film. He also did 8½, and this is one of his classics. I guess apparently this is the movie, let's see, it says on the back that this is the movie that introduced the world to the word paparazzi. So that was pretty interesting. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but interesting movie nonetheless. A lot of just, you know, gorgeous scenery and imagery in this movie. I highly recommend it if you like Fellini's stuff. And next up we got Little Miss Sunshine. A lot funnier than I thought it'd be. The Longest Yard, the remake. And then we have Man Bites Dog. This is the Criterion edition of this movie. This is like a mockumentary / black comedy. It's like this film crew follows around this serial killer as he's telling them, you know, how to get rid of bodies, and as he's killing people, they actually film him just shooting people and dumping the bodies. And there's actually a pretty graphic rape scene in this. Kind of disturbing, but it is meant to be a black comedy. There is some funny There is some humor in it. But yeah, I highly recommend this as well. Man Bites Dog. Then we have Midnight Cowboy. This is a very good movie, one of my all-time favorites. It's got Dustin Hoffman and Jon Voight. It's about this cowboy that comes to the city to try to make it for himself. He meets up with this hustler named Ratso, or Rizzo, he goes by, played by Dustin Hoffman, who does a great job. I ended up having a lot more respect for Dustin Hoffman because of this movie. And this movie, Midnight Cowboy, actually won an Oscar, I think, for Best Picture. And it was originally rated X. It's the only X-rated movie to ever win an Oscar for Best Picture. So, highly recommend you check this one out if you haven't seen it. Then we have The Mist, Monster Squad. And the next rack down, we have David Cronenberg's Naked Lunch. Very strange movie. Not even going to begin to describe this bitch. Very strange. It's like a movie that tries to be strange for 2 hours. Very interesting though. Recommend this one as well if you like David Cronenberg stuff, like The Fly or History of Violence. History of Violence is kind of different, like I was saying before, than a lot of his other movies. He also did this movie called The Brood. I haven't seen that yet, but I kind of want to check it out. Next we got Night of the Hunter. It's kind of a classic thriller horror type movie about this this criminal that's posing as a preacher, terrorizing these little kids trying to get some money. Good movie. North by Northwest, Alfred Hitchcock. And then we got One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the other half of the Grindhouse, Planet Terror. And this is a Criterion collection movie by Jacques Tati called Playtime. Not too much dialogue in this movie. It's just a series of just scenes with random things going on. It's a movie you kind of have to watch over to really pick up what's going on in the background and in the foreground, all over the place. Next up we got The Protector, Tony Jaa. Tony Jaa is definitely the baddest motherfucker alive right now as far as martial artists, entertainers. Check that out. Pulp Fiction, Raging Bull, which is in my opinion probably Scorsese's best movie. It's definitely probably the best sports movie. A lot of people say like Rocky or some shit, but hey, that's their opinion, but I think this is a superior movie. Then we got Reservoir Dogs, Rosemary's Baby, The Royal Tenenbaums, Rushmore, Scary Movies 1 and 2. These are the two best in my opinion out of the series. The Simpsons movie. And then I'll run through this last rack really quick. We got Sleeper, Woody Allen film, pretty funny, pretty goofy. Superbad, Suspiria. This is the 2-disc set. I'm jealous of the people that have the 3-disc with the soundtrack. Taxi Driver, another good Scorsese and Robert De Niro film. Terminator 2, The Thing, probably my favorite horror film, and a film that shows you don't need CGI for monsters and things like that to make them effective and creepy. This movie scared the shit out of me. It had me checking the ground for shit crawling around. But yeah, this is a good one. Transformers, Videodrome, good movie. Another David Cronenberg movie. Watermelon Man, got this from a co-worker at work. Wedding Crashers, and I'll go ahead and stop the video here and talk about this next beast in the next one.